Hi there, this is Malorian, and we're now on to the final game of the Brawler Bash tournament, and this is going to be a good way to finish it. I'm actually up against another YouTuber. It's Tuna Sandwich a Fee, and I'm going to have the link down below to his channel, but he's going to have a Warriors of Chaos army, and basically it's going to be like, well, you're warriors, I'm trolls, let's go fight. So really, there's not much else to be said. Let's go see what happens. Alright, so I guess the first nice thing I like going into this game is, I mean, you just gotta make the assumption now, if you're up against the Warriors of Chaos, it's gonna be a Nurgle Demon Prince, but it's actually not. He has this whole Slaanesh Demon Prince set up, and right off the bat, it's nice to see that difference. So overall, what we got here is, for me, I got my Savages, I got my Trolls, my River Trolls, my regular Trolls again, 3 units of Night Goblins, and in the middle one I got my Goblin War Boss with the Wizarding Hat. I actually got the Lower Heavens this time, and I got the Amber Spear, so that was going to be pretty cool. Then I also got my Night Goblin BSB. Now, as far as the game goes, it's just a regular battle line type thing, but you're trying to kill off characters, which was great because I definitely want to kill off his general and his demon prince with my Amber Spear, so kind of just fits into that. Otherwise, for his side, he has 5 dogs, he has a Corn Chariot, some Skull Crushers, a Gorebeast Chariot, big unit of Corn Warriors with Halberds, more Skull Crushers. Behind that is some type of hero and some type of mount. I'm going to have the exact build in the description before this, the little army list section, so, you know, some sort of mount there. Another Gorebeast Nurgle Chariot, another regular Nurgle Chariot, more dogs. Then he's going to have a big unit of his Nurgle Warriors, and then there he'll have a BSB and also his other Shaman, and then he has his disc character on the far right. Now, when I saw this, the first thing I wanted to do was kind of deal with that Demon Prince first. So I'm actually planning to not run towards him. I'm going to castle and try and hit him with that Amber Spear and kill him, because that's going to make things a lot easier. So he gets the first turn, and you can see that the Disc Rider and the Demon Prince are zooming to the right side. Otherwise, he's not being very aggressive. I mean, it looks like he's kind of wanting me to kind of come into the middle, and then he's going to attack with everything. But hey, if he wants to slow down while I go after with the Amber Spear, that's just fine. He gets a little bit of Slaaneshi magic out. The left Savages are slower, and he gets some sort of movement thing off on the right Trolls I don't really care about, because I just plan to reform. And yeah, so this is just kind of showing how I'm going to be slow over here. I actually fail my Frenzy, so they have to charge, but they fail the charge, and so that's good. Otherwise, over here, blurry picture, but the biggest thing I wanted to show is that I couldn't reform because this spell makes you so that you have to do the random distance thing. So I basically had to go straight forward because I couldn't really turn around, and luckily for me, I don't go very far. But what this means is that the whole bunker idea is not going to work because now you can sneak back through behind my lines. Oh, there's a better picture of it. So otherwise, I say screw it. You know, let's just get in there and let's fight. It's near the end of the day, and let's just do this. I got the Trolls, you got the Warriors. In general, I know I pretty much win this. He has the Flaming Banner actually on the left unit. They actually have, is it the left or is it the right? The right unit, I believe, actually has lances and flaming, so they're a little bit dangerous. But yeah, I just said let's get in there. First turn, I go for Amber Spear. He's going to stop it, and that's really my turn. So on his turn, he got tons of charges. Luckily for me, his warriors with halberds fail, but he has the skull crushers and one chariot going into the left unit, and then the flaming ones and two chariots going into the right one. And really, I'm not worried about this because no matter what, I'm going to be steadfast, and I should be killing lots of these guys. He's going to win combat, but I should be doing lots of wounds and winning this overall. Over here, his Disc Rider tries to sneak up on me, but triggers Fanatics, and Fanatics kill him. So that is awesome. I was, with a 3+ ward, they're pretty tough to kill, but you do enough hits, he pretty much gets no armor, and he just fails enough to die. Otherwise here, what happens from that is that panics the dogs, and the dogs flee back to here, which is going to block his other chariot. So that is awesome. Past that in combat, things go pretty cool. On the left combat, I kill half the Skull Crushers. The chariot breaks, it runs into the forest and crashes and dies, so that's cool. In the River Troll combat, that one I just didn't roll as well. He did some damage to me. The -1 to hit really helped, but I had planned to kill at least 2 of those Skull Crushers, but I only killed 1. So that was kind of unfortunate, but like I said, steadfast all around, and now it's countercharge time. I get some failed animosity. These 2 units decide to fight each other, so that could have been better. But otherwise, my savages go into the dogs. It's like every game. The savages have nothing to do but to kill chaff. But hey, we can kill this stuff and come back. Otherwise, trolls come into the flank of this chariot, and that'll help me do some extra wounds. Of course, beat up the dogs, go off the board. And after all, it looks like this. I do an Amber Spear again to his general. He stops it again. And really the big thing here is I just kill all the things. The one chariot does break and get away, but otherwise all the Skull Crushers are dead. That one other chariot that was on my flank was dead. I'm reforming all over the place, and this is just looking really bad for my opponent because I've really just taken on like the heart of his army, and it's done almost nothing. So I still have to worry about the Demon Prince coming in, but for the most part, yeah, it's looking really good. So on his turn, he charges into the flank here with his Demon Prince. And then otherwise, he charges in here. Now, I'm already a little bit weakened, so that can be bad. I'm guessing I'm going to get pretty hurt from this, but he has no longer any flaming, so the regen will be really nice. The character, I'm lazy at this point. At the start of the games, we give each other the lists, but at this point here, I don't even care what the character does. I asked if he had flaming. He said no, and really all I'm going to try and do is kill the unit and make him break. Otherwise, over here, the dogs are still being jerks and blocking where the chariot wants to be. Over here, he gets off the Super Frenzy on these guys, so that's going to make them more killy, but it's also going to be hurting them too, because they take some damage, and whereas normally it shouldn't do that much damage, my opponent was rolling pretty nasty for it and was killing off his own guys, so that definitely helped. Otherwise, over here, this was supposed to be awesome. He goes and he breaks the one unit he was in, overruns, and then I get this perfect thing set up. So I send out the 2 Fanatics, I set them off on the long way so that he'll hopefully land on them, and they both land in like the perfect spot. Unfortunately, he lands on both of them. He takes like 10 hits or 9 hits, and so I'm like, oh yeah, that's gonna be a dead Demon Prince. But after he does his armor saves, coming down from a 1+, and also his ward, he only takes a single wound, so that's bad. So basically I'm gonna need to run away with my general, otherwise I'm dead. But yeah, what can you, I mean, if you would have died to Fanatics here, maybe my opponent just would have given up. Otherwise, here in combat, like I said, I do tons of wounds to the warriors. He does a few stuff to me, but between the -1 the hit and the regen, he just does not do enough. His BSB breaks and automatically dies, and this is awesome. So overall then, it looks like this. Yeah, I'm just ready to go and kill things and just need to get away from that evil, evil demon prince, which is going to be pretty easy because I have another bunker I can just run over to. Oh yeah, unless of course it fails animosity. Oh, this game. So, well, no. Sorry, I should not complain about this game. Things went really well. I should say, oh, animosity, always making things difficult. So, the two bunkers there, they decide to fight each other, so I'm screwed. That demon prince can get to me for sure. Otherwise, I kind of do a charge on his chariot, the fleeing one, to make it go away. Savages come back on the board, and they're heading towards the bunkers so that they can hopefully fight the demon prince after. The river trolls finish off the last of the corn warriors, and they just turn around to be ready to try and help out as well. And otherwise, the other trolls are wanting to kind of get into those Nurgle guys if they could. So on his turn, he sends in a chariot to the rear of the trolls, and I'm not really too worried about this. Again, I'll be steadfast, and I can probably beat up this guy anyway. He comes here and charges into my flank, and really, this is just horrendous. Except then he casts some spell, dimensionally cascades, and dies. So, you know what? For all the bad luck I had in some of the other games, this must have been so frustrating for the opponent, right? His goal in this is to kill characters, plus the card he played was about killing my general as well, basically. And so, finally, you know, like, he's being his teeth kicked in all game, and then this happens. It must have been so heartbreaking, but for me, it was the most fantastic thing ever. Otherwise, the chariot comes in, does some wounds, I do some wounds back, I'm steadfast, I turn around the face, and the dogs keep running. On my turn here, I finish off the chariot. The trolls actually fail stupidity, which is too bad because these are the right ones. So I move over now bunkers now, so I'll be able to keep them within leadership range. But yeah, we're really just down to trying to get to those Nurgle guys, and we can get a tabling. The nice thing is too is that I have the card that lets me get an automatic 7, and so at this point I'm like 13 inches away. So as long as he doesn't move back, I can just use that lucky day to get a 7 and get the charge. On his turn, though, the dogs don't rally. They run off the board. He basically just backs up, so, yeah, whatever. On my turn, I just go up there to deal with them. The river trolls, I don't know why I really had them there. Just kind of try and help. Otherwise, what happens is, oh man. Okay, first of all, he charges the river trolls and fails, which is whatever. It was kind of a longer charge, but then he was throwing his flank to the trolls. Then he tries to cast some magic, and he cascades again, decimating the unit, sucking himself into the warp, and yeah, at this point, the game was just telling him, you know what, it is beer time. And so on my turn to try and throw him a bone, I charge in with my general, and then also, of course, go with the 2 troll units. Unfortunately, I fail with my general, get in there with the trolls, and we kill everything. So there you go, a big win for the Orcs and Goblins, a complete tabling, and that's exactly what I needed. Given where I was in the standings, I needed this so I could be 3-2, so that's awesome. And then I got a ton of points, so that's also awesome. So I can rush back up and get to somewhere a little bit more respectable. I think it was a bad matchup for the opponent. Trolls really just slaughter those warriors, and if you don't have the flaming there, it's just really hard to deal with him. His demon prince should have been a lot bigger of a deal. I mean, he survived the fanatic thing, but even then, so unlucky with double dimensional cascade. Like that is super bad luck. So the way that game ended, the nice thing about this game is that you also got a point for offering your opponent a drink. So after this, we went, he got us each a beer, we did some talking, you know, great to talk to other YouTubers and stuff, and then after, okay, it was my turn, I go up to buy us another round of beers, and I don't have my visa. Turned out I left my visa at lunch, so here I am, the jerk, saying, oh, you know how I just killed all your guys and, you know, kind of ruined your tournament? I also don't have the money to pay for beer. So luckily he was really cool about it, and then once bitten rushed me over to the restaurant so I got my visa back. But I was like the douchebag that first tables you and then makes you pay for beer, and yeah. Oh, stupid Malorian. But it was a really fun game. Killed lots of stuff. Shiro, what was your favorite part of the battle report? Do you remember anything, or just eating olives?
Eat olives.
Okay, so there you go. A big win. I'm going to be doing a summary video after this, talking about how, how I did in the tournament, what I thought about the tournament, what I thought about my list. But otherwise, like I said, this was another YouTuber, Tuna Sandwich or Fi. So I'm going to have a link down to his channel down below. So go check that out. And otherwise, thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.